A young and attractive woman named Chloe talks about her job as a call girl. She says part of her work is knowing how to make her clients happy with both her words and actions. From her clinic window, a gynecologist named Catherine watches Chloe outside. Her secretary then calls her in for her next patient. Catherine's husband, David, is a college professor currently giving lectures in New York. While he's teaching, an attractive student says they want to take him out for dinner. He says no because it's his birthday and he needs to fly back home to Toronto. The students sing a birthday song for him. Catherine gets a surprise birthday party ready for David and tells the guests he'll be arriving soon. But then David calls and tells her he missed his flight and can't make it. Meanwhile, the same student from class is seen standing right behind him. Catherine tells the guests that David won't be able to come, but they can still enjoy the party. After the celebration, she wipes her tears quietly. The next morning, David says sorry and tells her he didn't know she planned a party. He leaves earlier than usual and says he'll be home late again. Catherine sees their son Michael come out of his room with his girlfriend, both in their underwear. Michael says his dad knows about it, and it's clear he and his mom don't get along well. David forgets his phone, and Catherine sees a message from the student saying thanks for last night, along with a photo of the two of them. That evening, they go out for dinner with friends. David flirts with the waitress, asking her what she likes to drink. Catherine is hurt and excuses herself to the bathroom. In the restroom, she hears someone crying in the next stall. She asks if the woman needs help. The woman asks for some toilet paper, and Catherine gives her some. When the woman comes out, it's Chloe. She thanks Catherine and offers her a hairpin. Catherine politely says no and returns to her table. Catherine watches Chloe sit back next to her client, and Chloe glances back at her. On the drive home, Catherine brings up David flirting with the waitress. She also asks if he really missed his flight or if it was on purpose. David says it wasn't. The following night, Catherine goes to the hotel bar where Chloe usually waits for clients. Chloe sits beside her and starts to flirt. She tells Catherine she doesn't normally meet with women. Catherine explains she suspects her husband is cheating and wants Chloe to test him. The next day, Chloe goes to the coffee shop where David usually hangs out. She borrows some sugar from him and later looks at him. David looks back and smiles. That afternoon, Chloe tells Catherine that nothing serious happened. She says David just flirted a bit and was being nice when he asked for her name and if she was a student. Catherine asks how Chloe manages her job. Chloe says she tries to find something to love in every person, no matter how small. Catherine pays her and asks her to meet David one more time to see what else he might do. That night, Catherine sees David laughing while chatting with someone online. She walks out. Later, she overhears Michael crying during a video call. His girlfriend is breaking up with him. Catherine opens the door, and Michael gets mad, curses, and quickly shuts it. Feeling down, Catherine returns to David, who hurriedly closes his online chat. She tells him their son just got dumped. She's worried because Michael won't talk to her. David says Michael will be okay. He grabs a bottle of scotch, and they drink together. David starts to flirt with her, and she smiles. They begin to get close, but then David says he has a lot of papers to grade. Catherine tells him to go ahead and work, still smiling. The next day, Catherine hears Michael talking to his dad on the phone. He says he really loves his girlfriend and asks his dad if it felt the same when he first met mom. He says his dad always tells him how beautiful his mom is and how he loved telling that story. Catherine quietly smiles as she listens. She meets Chloe at a bar and tells her there's no need to meet with her husband anymore, as she now feels reassured about him. But Chloe tells her she already saw David again. She explains how they met at the cafe once more and had lunch together. Chloe adds that they went to a garden, where they kissed deeply, and she could tell he was excited. Catherine feels let down and walks away. She's about to get in her car when she sees Chloe fall off her bike. Catherine helps her with the wound, and when Chloe takes off her pantyhose, Catherine starts feeling uncomfortable. Later that night, Chloe shares more details about her time with David and admits that she used her hand to give him pleasure. Catherine asks if she's healthy and safe, and Chloe promises she is and says she'll bring her medical test results. Catherine drives home in tears, picturing what Chloe told her. That night, she lies in bed beside David, who's still awake and looking tense. The next day, Chloe goes to Catherine's clinic with her test results. While waiting, she hears Michael talking to the receptionist about picking up his tuxedo and realizes he's Catherine's son. While he's making copies for his recital, Chloe walks up and flirts with him. Chloe later gives Catherine the test results and reminds her that she's seeing David again, just like they agreed. Michael picks up his tuxedo but still acts distant toward his mom, leaving without thanking her. While having lunch with friends, Catherine gets a message from Chloe saying which hotel room she's in. Her friends notice her odd behavior and joke that she's having an affair. Catherine denies it and excuses herself. At the hotel, Catherine enters the room and Chloe tells her that she and David slept there. Chloe shares more details, and instead of getting angry, Catherine starts to feel drawn in. She pays Chloe, and they leave the room together. Catherine talks about how things used to be full of love between her and David. She sits down and cries. Chloe kneels and comforts her, then suddenly kisses her. Shocked, Catherine walks away. That night, Catherine attends her son's piano recital and chooses to sit far from David. After the performance, she sees David talking to a waitress. He walks over and kisses her hands. Just then, a female student calls David, which upsets Catherine even more, so she walks off. Catherine heads to the hotel and interrupts Chloe, who is speaking with another client. They go to a room where Chloe comforts her with kisses and gentle touches. The two end up in bed together. Afterward, they ride a cab home. Catherine tells Chloe not to see her husband again. Before leaving, Chloe offers her the same hairpin again and asks if they'll see each other. Catherine doesn't respond and just says she's too tired, then leaves. When she gets home, David is waiting for her. He asks who she's been seeing behind his back. Catherine snaps, saying he cheated first. David shouts that he never had an affair. Michael steps in but they tell him to stay out of it, so he storms off. At work, Catherine sees that she missed a lot of urgent calls from Chloe and got an email with a photo of them in bed together. She quickly calls Chloe, who says she's just been in the waiting room the whole time. Chloe then walks in holding flowers. Catherine locks the door. Catherine admits that she enjoyed their time together, but it has to end. She writes a check, but Chloe breaks down, saying their connection was real and not about money. Catherine insists it was just a business deal and it's over. She tells Chloe to leave. Heartbroken, Chloe wants revenge. She later goes to Michael's hockey practice and she flirts again and tells him she checked out his social media. He smiles. Later, Catherine gets a message from Chloe saying she met with David again. She calls Chloe, who says David is starting to fall for her. Furious, Catherine tells her to meet at a cafe. At the cafe, David arrives. Catherine says she wants them to be honest with each other and finally clear things up. David starts first and admits what really happened in New York. He says he lied. He missed his flight on purpose because he didn't feel like celebrating his birthday, so he stayed and had a drink. Catherine brings up Miranda, and David insists that he never crossed the line with his student. Chloe then arrives, surprised to see David there. David asks why Catherine is staring at the girl and it becomes clear he doesn't recognize Chloe at all. Chloe walks out, and Catherine realizes that everything Chloe told her about the affair was a lie. Now it's Catherine's turn. She admits she did have an affair, but she can't bring herself to say more. David is crushed, then walks away. Catherine runs after him and finally tells the truth, that she hired a call girl named Chloe to test his loyalty. She explains how Chloe made up the whole story about being with him. Catherine confesses that her insecurities about aging pushed her to do it. She then tells him she ended up sleeping with Chloe. David embraces her, and they kiss deeply. Later, Chloe goes to Catherine's house and finds Michael. She leads him to his parents' room, where she spots her hairpin. Then, she starts coming on to Michael. David is in a rush and heads to the school. Catherine returns home and finds Michael in her bedroom, lying next to Chloe. She sends Michael out so she can speak with Chloe alone. Chloe tells Catherine that she can't just let someone into her life, use them, then throw them away. She says she fell in love with her. Catherine apologizes for leading her on. Chloe picks up her hairpin and threatens her with it. She asks Catherine to kiss her, and she does. Michael manages to get back into the room. When Catherine sees his reflection, she panics and accidentally pushes Chloe toward the window. Chloe grabs onto the glass, but then lets go and falls to her death. The movie ends at their house, where they host a graduation party for Michael. Time has passed since the incident, but both Catherine and Michael are still grieving over Chloe's death. As a guest calls her, Catherine turns around, and she's wearing the hairpin Chloe once gave her.